Johnny
That's a lot.
Castro. The subject is Riddick Bowe. Hey, fellas, Evander Holyfield fought all the great heavyweights from the 90s. He said that Riddick Bowe was the best boxer he ever faced. Riddick Bowe had a short prime between 92 and
Who
95,
said
and after,
this?
uh,
Holyfield.
Holyfield said
Holyfield.
that
Well,
Bowe
he
was the
did
best
beat him.
boxer. Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, he got out of shape and got punch drunk from the Galata fights. Bowe's only career loss was against Holyfield during that fluky fan man incident. And he beat Holyfield 2 other times. He had never faced Lennox Lewis or Mike Tyson. What do you think about Riddick Bowe? And where would you rank him in the top heavyweights of the 1990s? Like, uh, you know, during my era, he was one of the top heavyweights because he was always fighting Holyfield.
Yeah.
But I don't really remember him fighting. I remember the fights agaghst Galata, but Galata was cheating and low
Galata.
blowing him and stuff.
He
And everything.
was,
They
So
but he
look
was
like
yeah,
also
those old
outboxing
school
him.
right.
Italians.
Yeah. Or he was Polish.
But yeah, he was
I
a
know,
draw.
but he was a dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a
And
draw.
bro, I remember him very well because he was a major trash talker and he had a really, really good amateur career. I don't know if you remember. I don't know which Olympics it was, but he fought Lennox Lewis
In the finals and lost,
yeah,
right?
and
90
lost, and it was a controversial match
88.
too.
88.
Yeah, it was 88. It's
Yeah.
controversial. I actually thought that this guy beat Lennox, so he knew what he was doing, and there weren't a lot of great heavyweights back then in the 90s. Let's keep it, a buck, but he still beat guys like I remember Michael Dokes, who was a tough, Tony Tubbs, who could go, you know, Pinklon Thomas, who could go, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then I remember he was really crazy. Remember this story? I don't know if you guys remember this story, but he had joined the Marines after boxing.
Yeah, I was going to
Then he
mention that.
quit after like a week. Then he went and abducted his wife,
Yeah.
all her kids. She had like a lot of them too, and stabbed her and used duct tape. And he went to jail for that.
And the guy mentioned that he kind of got punch drunk early, and I think that's what he was an early case, and he's still alive, but I mean he was an early case of CTE, I guess, from those Holyfield and Galata fights. Just scrambled him up because if you ever watch Legendary Nights on HBO, it's like an old boxing special. They're all great, and so they did the special.
Oh yeah. I know which one you're talking about. When
Well,
they go back and watch old boxing rivalries.
Yeah, so it was Bowe and Galata, and the guy showed. He's like, "Here's Riddick getting interviewed in 1992." And here's Riddick getting interviewed in 1996, and his speech is just shot, Yeah, so.
Yeah, I remember like maybe a decade ago or more, he came after me on Twitter. I forgot what was the reason.
Yeah,
he got roasted.
It was an MLW radio
Yeah.
thing. I think the guys let you know, hey, Riddick, he's saying he wants to wrestle or something. And then you commented on it, and the sites picked it up and tweeted him, and he tried to fire back at you. Yeah, I remember that.
Wow, what a good memory. That is what happened. All right.
Next is from Dale M. Fortunio, and the subject is Drive a Ford. Hey, gang, a few weeks ago I heard you guys confirm that Montez Ford is an absolute star in the making. I totally agree. I think a way to freshen him up would be to make him heel and also make the real-life romance between him and Bianca come to light, and in turn would make her a heel as well. This would freshen up both characters and give Bianca a revitalized version of what she was in NXT. Could be a current Seth and Becky from the past a couple of years ago. Thoughts on both acknowledging the true life romance on TV and becoming heels. P.S. Conan, your dogs are super over. The only way they could bury themselves is if they barked, "See you on Rampage."
Wait a minute.
Montez is. I think Montez is more of a babyface. He's got a babyface style. He's a high flyer. He does impressive things. So I don't know. I think he's a likable guy. I don't think he's very dislikable. Like him and Bianca are kind of likable,
And here's the thing, right? Yeah, and here's the other thing that Bianca's super over.
Right.
She's just a victim of bad booking, as are most of the women, And I think she's happy to be champion. She hasn't been there a long time. She probably doesn't want to make any waves, and she does what she's told. But she's super over. Now this Asuka thing has me zero interested in it.
Right.
Because they haven't done a good build up. Last week she attacked her like she was a heel. The week before she stood there with blue coming out of her mouth. The week before that with blue coming out of her mouth too. And I'm like, yeah, okay, when am I supposed to be interested?
Yeah.
Why don't you put the same effort like you do into the Mysterio storylines or these other storylines? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it just comes off as whack.
Yeah. Next is from Brock Miles, and the subject is muscle rub. Hello, I recently saw a picture on Instagram of Brian Cage posing in the gym with Tessa Blanchard. Brian did not look near as jacked as he does on TV, and Buff Bagwell used to say that there was some kind of muscle rub he and other wrestlers would use before coming out that would make a big difference in their physical appearance. Said the WWE banned the rub years ago, and also the ICP guy said that Disco tried to get them to rub him down with baby oil before his match. What did the boys do to prepare their bodies before walking out? Just get pumped up like push-ups and stuff, or anything. Put oil on. That's what I would do. I heard that muscle rub thing, but it always used to make me very red.
Yeah,
So
that
I forget what
icy
it was
hot.
called. Right, the icy hot. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
didn't
bro,
like
it would
that.
make you red. If a wrestler went by you and touched you with it,
Right.
you were scratching yourself.
Mm.
Well, that's why
It was really
WWE banned
hot.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
WWE banned it because of that problem.
And so, like in Mexico, they would use niacin because it would bring out
Right.
your vascularity, and you put some baby oil on, you're good to go, bro.
Next is from Eddie Hogan. The subject is Cole. With Adam Cole's in-ring return happening soon, it's good to see that he's healthy because Meltzer was saying for a while that it wasn't looking good for him. Do you think there is anything that can be done that actually will matter? I'm a fan, but really he was used so badly pre-concussion that it tarnished him. What do you see as his future with AEW? I have to say, guys, I just listened to the recent podcast. I don't agree with you guys about the Rhea Ripley stuff. Fans should be respectful, not stalk wrestlers around airports or hotels, and then report fake news stories and give betting tips, and then insult the host of the show that they're leeching from.
Okay.
First off, where are people supposed to get autographs from?
I don't know. Autograph shows, card shows, conventions.
Well, that's what this idiot. Like, these people
What
don't
if there's
understand.
none
Is like,
in your area?
bro, the
Or that
autograph
wrestler
is
doesn't come to your area.
is an invitation for you to get to meet the person. That's what an autograph is.
Well, like,
You should
it's
already
just-
know. You should already
Yeah.
know as a big star in music, wrestling, sports, whatever. They're gonna meet you. Try to meet you after the show while you're getting on the bus or your car. They're gonna try to meet you at the hotel if you're, and or a gym that all the wrestlers go to, a restaurant that all the wrestlers go to, or if you're dining out in public, somebody's gonna call their friends and go, "Hey, the wrestlers are here." I mean, that's to be expected in this day and age. For you to act like a everywhere you go, I'm not okay with that.
Next
More
is from
generational changes.
right. Next is from Wayne Miller, and the subject is Disco's Thirsty. Hello, K100, starring JoJo the Philly Entrepreneur, along with K Dog and others.
Whoa, that was a shot.
Good day, Wayno from Australia here. First of all, I'm genuinely so thankful for this podcast and content you guys provide. You guys have accompanied me to countless days of work. I'm a day one listener, KG. I'll stop beating around the bushes. We aren't here to spiders.
Now,
American
let me ask you a
translation-
question. How long has KG been off the show?
Years.
Oh my God, almost 6 years.
And they're still burying the guy.
They're still
Go
mad
ahead.
at him, yeah.
He was only on the show for like a year and a couple of months.
I'll stop beating around the bush since we aren't here to spiders. American translation, I'll get to the point, see we don't have all day. Question for DI. This may have been asked before. I spent a bit of time in Iran also. What is your relationship with Hunter like? Do you guys ever converse? Share a group chat? Reason I ask, it seems like you guys have a lot of mutual friends. WWE could use you around. Also, slow down with those hand jobs, Glenn. Easy does it. Make sure to take your water bottle. Don't get dehydrated.
That's rude.
You blokes are a bunch of mad. If you ever come to West Australia, we would chop it up. Let's suspend this guy for a week.
Even
I don't
though
have
he
a
invited you to Australia?
I don't have a relationship with Hunter. And the last I saw him at the show at one of the shows one time. We shook hands and hey and stuff. And we've always had a good. We've never had like to have a sour relationship with each other. When we knew each other and used to hang out, we were friends. And now it's like if I ever went to work there, we would be friends again. Because like I went with Kevin. After Hunter had blown his leg out, he was in Birmingham. Who's the Birmingham doctor that used to fix people?
James Andrews.
James
right?
Andrews,
Yeah.
right? So he went to Birmingham to rehab, and they set up a ring for him. He needs somebody to work out with. So me and Nash went there, and this is before Nash went to WWE, went back to WWE because me and Kevin had both been sitting out, just getting paid for our time at WCW while we weren't working, right? And we went and I went and worked out with him. We sat, had dinner and stuff, and him and Kevin, we all got we get along, and we would still get along if I had a relationship with him. But I don't have a relationship with him anymore. But like it's one of those, is like your wrestling friends. You pick up your relationship with your wrestling friends right where you left off when you see them again. Usually is how it happens. Do you agree with that, Conan?
Yeah, I also heard through the grapevine he doesn't like you.
Okay.
Have you encountered Triple H at all, Conan, or a couple times? Or?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah, all good.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's
cool.
a cool dude. Yeah.
Next is from Forrester Grillo, and the subject is Goldberg. A huge source of contention with the K100 fans is the endless debate of whether or not MJF has been a success as a top guy at AEW. At the minute, it seems like his new storyline is MJF versus Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara versus Jungle Boy. That is not a match I personally care about seeing, and I would guess it won't add new audience members either. Tony Khan has publicly stated his interest in the possibility of signing Bill Goldberg. We don't all know that Goldberg would love that AEW money. My question is, do you think this should happen? The AEW diehards would hate it, but at the same time, Goldberg coming to AEW would draw you new eyes. P.S. Conan, say hello to Batista for me at the Hall of Fame. Billy Body reported Batista is going to be headlining induction to the 2023 Hall of Fame, and we all know that Billy would never make something up, so just say he could get on K100 to plug his. So, is that true
Did
about
he say
Batista? By the way?
Batista was going to be on the Hall of Fame, Joe?
I think he tweeted it. Yeah, I don't remember if he said it on the show.
I don't think he said on the show. So, yeah.
I think that I don't think the AEW
and that's funny. Like, bro, like these dirt sheet guys want to be the first people to report who gets inducted is getting inducted. Like anybody gives a
look at it if you're wrong,
right?
Well, yeah, you do. But I think all the dirt sheet guys are kind of like they're looking for that story. And I think, like, do people really care when they find out who's going to the Hall of Fame? You know, you would find out at the Hall of Fame ceremony. Like, just finding out who's going to the Hall of Fame to me is not news. You know, I mean, it's like big deal.
Unless it's somebody like, oh, the Warriors going in who hadn't been around. Like, that's news, right? Or Brett or something, but not
Andy Kaufman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next is from Sean O'Brien.
Hang on. Let's the Goldberg thing, because I wanted to say he implies the AEW fans would Goldberg, and I don't think so. I think Goldberg would be just as over there as anywhere else. I would look at like you wouldn't think Sid would come into ECW and get cheers, right? Because of the way that crowd is. Sid was over as a ECW, and I think it would be the same kind of deal. What do you guys think? You think Tony should bring Goldberg in for something?
Couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Next is from Sean O'Brien. Subject is Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. Conan and Disco. First of all, love the podcast. Best thing going right now. Must listen. Love how you're refreshingly candid and don't pull punches. Give honest, thorough answers. Big Madden follower and love Mr. Friday Afternoon.
Who?
During Cody Madden, he's a Madden follower.
But love Mr. Friday Afternoon is him.
There's a guy that's on Madden's show.
Yeah, he's this guy's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. During Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns promo, Cody mentioned knowing what it's like to be held down by second-generation wrestlers. I took that as a reference to Randy Orton. Do you think RKO will show up at Mania to impact the championship match, or maybe we'll deliver an RKO out of nowhere on the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania during Cody's championship celebration? More Guapo Gringo Larry Dallas, please. Terrific addition to the show.
Nice.
Is that a good day? And that's from SOB in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to take any suggestions.
Right. Especially so, we're not referring to himself as handsome.
Yeah, we're not. So there's not going to be more.
And you for that.
Larry Dallas has his segment. There's not going to be more Larry Dallas segments, okay? Right.
Larry he wanted to jump on the show last night. He called a couple of times.
Why?
He was with a Discord member at the Knicks game, and as he was calling, he was like, let us just pop on and say what's up. I'm like, well, we got John Gibbons on right now. It's not really the time for you to come in loud from the Knicks game. And,
he thinks he's so over, he should just pop in at any time, right?
Right.
Next is from Jared Smith, and the subject is mailbag question.
Well, what do you think about the Orton...
Not a bad. I don't know. I don't want to spoiler,
idea, but I don't think that's going to happen. But that it would not be a bad idea.
There's been reports around that Orton and Riddle are being told to be around this weekend, so maybe. But I don't think he should interfere at WrestleMania. No, maybe the next night.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not speculating on angles and whatever.
Right.
I'd rather just see it as
I want to be
occur.
surprised.
Mm-hmm.